Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the webinar series organized by Parul University. Today we have among us Mr. Kavishwar Kalambe sir, General Manager in Ruby Operation Group, Innoise Tarolution Dahej Manufacturing Group. Sir has rich and vast experience in the field of site management, greenfield and brownfield project implementation, third-party manufacturing setup, technology transfer from UK and Germany to India, wastewater treatment plant setup, many more. So also sir has worked with BSF India Limited, Thermex Limited, Biocrop Science Limited. So on behalf of the Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology, Diploma Studies, Parul University, we welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sir, now share your presentation screen and start the session.
Sure. Once it's visible, please tell me. Yeah? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
yes, it is visible. Yes.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everybody. So it's Industry 4.0 phase 1. Basically, here I will try to give you the future perspective. Why we need the IoT-based solutions? Why we need Industry 4.0? What is the requirement? And how basically it will support and what to do that. Yeah. So we'll start the presentation. Thanks. So here we'll go ecosystem, future perspective, 4.0, and then we have interaction. So typically, since it was a interactive, made for interactive sessions, so now here only I am going to talk. Yeah. So we can take questions at the end. So when you have clear path, yeah, so everybody has to walk on the same front. So now here you can see must be leader is it directing. So leader is not incorporating anything into it. It is in the smooth water. When it comes to turbulence water, everybody has to do some or other stuff. So we need to see how we can enabling it ecosystem in stable times and tough times. So if we see the earlier world, we talk about the SWOT. So you must be aware of SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. But now world is going beyond that. That is understanding the future context. We used to do competitor analysis rather than we are going for a niche market now or define new game. We used to get constraints. So now converting into the opportunity. There are rules. Now people are thinking how it can be creative. So the base question is how do we can learn from the future, yeah, or how to create memorize of the future. Yeah, and this is the best example. What you don't know can't hurt you. Correct? This is the amazing picture. It was viral, so just wanted to keep it here. Yeah. So you want to look for a lion, but when your direction is not correct, it may hit you. So this typically happens for the market. You look for some other stuff, but it's just behind you. So now there is a massive collisions ongoing. If we say now in the digital business, yeah, there is like everything is open. So with this massive application, what really want, how we live, how we interact with our environment, how to do business, yeah, typically digital business. So in this all collision, it's very important to understand how to do it, what to do it, yeah. You must remember this phase, yeah. It's a famous statement by the Nokia CEO, Stephen Lock. He says, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Many don't know, yeah. Before Samsung, Apple launched the touchscreen, Nokia was already having a patent of it. But, due to this quarterly keypad, they thought that people will not like it and they somehow lose it. And you know the rest of the history. The second, yeah, when you accept a new thing, yeah, you must be knowing who is here. So what is said, once habit and belief set in, our brain seeks to reinforce them and ignore evidence of the country. Its success is the loudest teacher, yeah. So That's what. So it's a Bill Gates statement. So we do something wrong, there is a possibility of missing the future. So how do we create? Yeah, let's talk. So these are the some part of the picture. Yeah. So if let's say if your future picture is not clear, you will not able to see what these four parts are there. But when you think and put everything together, you can say, okay, this was the elephant, typically correct. It looks like elephant, and then you can able to connect, then you can able to make a statement on it. Now with this all, if you see, there are many other people who has planned. You can see the one of statement from Ray Kurzweil. It was of October 2015. Yeah, he says in 2013 we are going to send nanorobots into the brain that will provide full immersion virtual reality within the nervous system. And you must have seen the many news and that where people say robots in the healthcare industries already into the picture. So that's how they are working it. And some other phenomena. Yeah. So when something happens, it also create a dispersions. Now coming back to our topic, it's a fourth industrial revolution. That's why it's called as a industry 4.0. It is basically the fusion. It's all physical, digital, biological world. Yeah. So we will see one by one with examples, and we see how it has evolved. So prior to that, so Make in India started 2014. However, we were doing it, but some of the example of that, zero defect, zero effect. When Apple smartphone pricing launched, you can notice the price is 300 USD, and same it was 7 USD. Yeah? So then you can understand why it was required to make in India, correct? So that's how. But we are not only focusing on the mass production, but it is zero defect and zero effect. So industry 4.0 has really helped them to bring down the cost, and zero defect. It's typically example of digital plant. Many of you must have visited the plant. So I will just want to show you. Yeah. So pointer. Yeah. So typically, if you see when your industry start, it's a fabrication. So this example will give you whenever basically you want to go for industry 4.0, how interlink can be. So you need to define some blocks. So fabrication, so welding, then go to paint shops, then programming in CNC occurs. So here a lot of automation occurs. Then it comes to final assembly. It will be storing. So before that, it will go for final inspection and then storing. So that's how typically whenever you go for the plant, you can segregate into the sections. Then you can further do the automation. If we see the current market trend, what's that? Where industry 4.0 can support? It's a green and sustainability. It should be attractive, initiative, and friendly. Safe for everything when it comes to the vehicles. Yeah. Zero defect vehicles, smart and connected. Correct? Everybody heard Tesla, correct? Elon Musk. So that's how he has made this vehicle business with industry 4.0 typical. Yeah. So he always say, I can update your car by sitting at home. So it has just a software upgradation and you will get all new facility. So now with this, the manufacturing of paradigm of manufacturing is totally changing. So mass production to mass customization, make to stock to make to order, simply product delivery, personalized experience and services. That's what Tesla tried to bring it. So basically what you and me want, yeah, whenever you want to go for anything, we want a unique experience. And technology can basically support you into the unique experience as well as it can be more flexible, more agile. So this is how the industry 4.0 revolution started. So first phase was mechanization, water power, steam power. So you can see this picture as typically the example of how oil is getting from the whale. Yeah. Second was the mass production line. Electricity also came into the picture. Third was computer and automation. Fourth is cyber physical system. So we are somehow, most of the industry somewhere between three now, because fourth required some investment also, as well as big technology, yeah, which some are available, some are not. But now anyone can go for industry 4.0. And by that time it was not available, but now everything is available. So some part of robotics, automation, instrument is always come in industry 3.0. Its interlinks and operation and going through the remote place, that will come into the industry 4.0. We'll cover this. So when you want to transform anything, it's all about digitization. You can see basically the report which Capgemini has done in 2013. What was the transform intensity versus digital intensity? So minus 24%, it has increased to plus 26%, and they did it with combine of digital in the business transportation. So that's how. So basically, it has started from 2012 onwards. Now, if you say in 20, this number must be more and more. Yeah. So that's how your EBIT, yeah, earning before income tax, which basically bottom line people call as, that has helped industry has got a lot of help with this transformation of digitization. So what it is, yeah, extensive changes in the area of value creation it has bring on. More efficient production process, stronger customer centricity, new marketing and business models. So basically what we want, efficiency, agility and innovation. That's all can be done by Industry 4.0. IDC forecasted in 2019 that 75% of industrial enterprise worldwide will transfer their value chain digitally, network, process and object. And they are targeting that it will increase by 15%. So nowadays, if you see any industry, most of the industry, if you just keep aside some small scale industry, most of the industry on the some or other digital platform. They have ERPs, they have some automation at some part, somebody at the 20% stages, somebody has the 50%, somebody has the 80%. So based on their product economics, they already gone ahead and they are getting it effect in the bottom line, because it's not only improving their business, but the transparency of their business is also increasing, because you can see it on a real time basis. You can give feedback to customers on the real time basis. So your customer will be also happy with that. So once you are transparent, they will also, there are a lot of chances you will get a new business out of it. This is if you say about the German industries, yeah. So when there was an industry wanted to reduce the cost, improve their internal processes, profitability, and with innovations. So this is Industry 4.0. They found that if they follow this guideline and implement this along with digitization, they can really go for it. So you can see how it has become. So 2014 it was 31, 15 43, and 2016 it was 53%. So if you see there that time, so awareness, IT is 80%, they are already gone, because they basically invented a lot of stuff. Engineering 45%, then production and logistics in implementation. So this is the survey done by IDC 2016. So industry database, they have created it. So now you must have seen this 2016 to 20, most of the Western world already gone for Industry 4.0. So you can see Industry 4.0 initiative plan versus implemented. Yeah. So you can see it was a plan. First line was plan and second line is implemented. So monitoring and optimization. So it was for 56, they are at 40%. Product test and quality assurance, 43% achieved. Then 55% was the target. Machinery plant, remote monitoring is 30% versus 43%. Inventorying 32%, arrangement of production models 23%, in-house predictive maintenance. So many people who are not knowing about the predictive maintenance is typically whenever you want to maintain a good health of your machines, there are three types of maintenance occurs. It's typically one is a predictive, preventive, and third is the immediate maintenance. So nobody want to have immediate maintenance, that typically the breakdown. Preventive is basically the checklist of that, but predictive means you, based on the history and circumstances, you assume by that date this equipment can get a failure, so you already arrange something, so as a result you don't lose any productivity. That's a predictive maintenance. Then simulation, it was slightly lesser, 17%. So there is one of the example of our most generous competitor from China. So Jingyin Precision Technology was the company. Before and after robots, there are the numbers. So they have set up a factory exclusively by robot, and results are fascinating. You can say before inducting robot, they had a 650 employees, and with defect was 25%. Means this was even not classified as a 5 sigma. They are maybe at a 2 sigma or 3 sigma level. So production per person was 8,000 pieces. And when they have gone, they have implemented it. Yeah. So you can see that defect reduced by 80%. But what they did, 90% of human they have replaced with robots. So 650 employee become 60 only. Defects reduce to 5%. Increase production 3 times. That it was 8,000. So now it is 21,000 pieces. So you can see, and you know that robots don't complain. They can work 24/7. You need to have correct programming. Only breakdown you need to see it. So that's what the best example of Industry 4.0. Yeah. So where you want to basically go for the, typically we call as a leap. Yeah. 10x leapfrogging you want to do. So these are the best example for it. So this is another one. Yeah. Matthew Carr, Oxford Plus Mass to 2017. Number of robots to 10,000 workers. South Korea 478. Germany 292. US 164. China 36. Do you know how we are? Yeah. How much? So we also do have, but we don't have the correct numbers. Yeah. But we must be right now. If we say 20, we will be around 10 to 20 now. This China must be now at 300. We must be at 20 as of now. So because we are also moving towards the same. You can see the worldwide growth initiative for different one. So typically we have launched as a Make in India with precision manufacturing. If you go up towards this one, you can say digital manufacturing, Industry 4.0, mostly in this Western world. Business internet, business revolution. Somebody has already have the 2030 strategy. Somebody has already put smart industry. Somebody want to have high value of manufacturing. Industry for the future. If you say Americas, it's a manufacturing essence, fabrications, intelligence, made in China 2025. So everybody has a all growth initiative by Industry 4.0, because they know that if they can have a consistent precision, they can achieve the quality. That's how their manufacturing cost will be reduced. Maybe initial cost for the implementation will be higher, but then the operating cost will be lower. So nowadays, if you say Industry 4.0 or daily life example, yeah, we now have a smartphones, yeah, correct? So which can do, we never thought, maybe if you go before 10 years, we are in 20. So who were in 2000, we never thought that we will have a computer in hand. Now you have it. Smart homes. So maybe in Baroda, maybe we have 1, 2, but if you go Ahmedabad, Surat, this concept already come. So once you start light will start. They can also see your physical presence. They can start your ACs. So now this is common now. Yeah. Now smart cars, that is getting introduced now to the Indian factory. Smart factories. So this all is basically the outline for Industry 4.0. So technology push, market pull. So that's how, and we are also accepting it. If you see, we also like to have a good phones, ultra modern phones here, smart cars which can run runs with with the full safety features. Smart factories, so we'll have less accident. We have quality products. That's what we want. So basically, Industry 4.0, if we say the pillar of it, so it gives the agility, it gives efficiency and innovation. So stronger customer centricity. So it achieves more efficiency production process, so bottom line will be good. New marketing and business model, so you will always have go to the niche market. Yeah? So value chain transformations through network and processing the objects. So this is all includes in industry 4.0. So basically what it typically, if you say the current scenario, what are the challenges to turning industry 4.0 into the reality? One, integration of various data sources. So now you must have seen there are many courses for the data has come in picture, because now people realize the importance of data. So that integration is the key. And then it's security and protection. And then third is the managing complexity. So you need to foresee all the things. If you have correct data, so you can manage the complexity. That's the first most challenge. It's related to the information technology. Second is ensuring data security and protection. When industry 4.0, so you are already connected to the virtual world. How you can see that your data is not get breached? You have your IP intact, your information protection is intact. So you need to have a strong firewalls, you need to have a strong system, so that apart from you, nobody access. So you need to prepare the separate access level for that. So, and most important, break down established structure and processes, because people are used to, some other standard, how to upgrade them. So that lot of training, the exposure for new things will come in picture, so that until unless your people also move to the next stage, the implementation will not come to the reality. And financing implementation. Since industry 4.0 takes ultra modern instruments, equipments, as well as the technology, so some finance impact will be there. So my recommendation to the industries is they can go into the phases. They can take one phase, take people, let people understand, take all output, then go to the phases. So that's how you can sort it. So this is the server. And third is a engineering, managing emerging complexity. So what are the basically permission or combination need to think before putting it? Yeah. Else, then financing implementation. So if you have any change, basically, so if you are not done correctly, so there can be a lot of change management, which you will not able to do it, and additional finance will be there. Implementing project without compromising the operations. So if you are late, you should not compromise any stuff in the project. You should implement what has been designed. So these are the some stuff in IT production engineering when you go for the industry 4.0. So what is most important, you should listen everything, you should see everything. Everything is online. You try to learn, yeah. You social analytics, adopt it, yeah, and do knowledge sharing and collaboration. And this is all smart based, yeah. So there are many examples, before going to what I just wanted to tell. You must have know the Mahindra car, yeah. Because Power will also have the workshop it. They have designed the car simply by going online, These all web designers, they have come into the picture, they have shown the design, and that's how they have gone. So that's the power already in place, yeah. It's not related to industry 4.0, but how they have IoT is on place. That's the best example out of that. And this is what Grammy Goldman says. Nearly half of the company says they don't have the digital skill they need by. It's basically, it's not there is an issue with the employees or anything. It's basically the exposure to employee, because everybody wanted to go for new things. Like, maybe a third standard guy get an iPhone by his financial situation, but he don't know what is there. Yeah, this typically happen with the technology. You have everything with it, but how to use it, how to adopt it, correct? So for that, somebody need to invest into that skills. So then you can able to understand. Nowadays, the simple degree will not suffice unless you have some added skills to it. Yeah. So digital IQs have become critical. So now the current generation, new people are very good into it, but you can see how positively it can be used. Yeah. So solution adoption. What can be the roadmap for prioritization of that? So as I told, the phase one, you can define in the phases. Phase one will be, first is the most important is the requirement. You can say model-based engineering. Typically, model-based way typically called as a one model which can be scalable to other. So it's like your kitchen block nowadays. So they just put a modular kitchen. That's it. So that's how you should have. So you can, it is easily you are able to scale up it out. But for that you need to do proper engineering. Yeah. So once you do it, then only you will be able to do it. Then dynamics based simulation, unified workflow, virtual testing. So this is how requirement driven engineering and virtual testing need to be done in a phase 1. Phase 2, when it goes to the multidisciplinary product definition, product documentation and product management. So most important here is the second one, product documentation. So whatever you do, you put it, you sign off. Yeah. And then you have program management team. So once phase 1 you did it, then second you document it, and then you will go for the third phase, where you do the layout optimization, manufacturing simulation, you see the configuration with the different, and defect and change management. So you can see the permission and combination of that, and that's how you get a final. So that's how you can go for all these projects of design. So you can take any one example, and then that's how you can go. So you can see this state now. Around a third of the industrial employees created an Industry 4.0 job last year, if you see. See, this is a survey in 2016 has been done by IDC. Do you have a dedicated Industry 4.0 managers on the team? So 57% people say yes, and 43% says no. Then has a new post for an Industry 4.0 manager has been created in last 12 months. So 30% only has created and 70% not. So if you can see, in 2016 this was the situation. So now if you say most of the companies has a digital manager, it has a different terminology, who is already working on it. Yeah. So that's the reality now. So just wanted to show you some case studies how basically Industry 4.0 model looks. So maybe so I think this is not work by this way. So maybe I have just start. So I think my internet connection is not much stable, but so it is taking a time. Yeah. So maybe I will just give you these links to your paste it on a chat messenger so that you can able to see. So these are some models and case studies where they can see how Industry 4.0 has supported them to come out from the basically their when they wanted to do improvement, how they have come out from that. So there is an example of Sandvik is there, Bosch is there. So I will put this link here so you can able to see it. So now if you see the current economic, and we typically call as a life 2.0 in 21st century, how it goes. So basically if you say 70s, 15s, we have moved from agriculture economics to industrial economy. Yeah. And now if you say then information technology has come. Now the next trend is nano, bio, artificial intelligence. This is going to drive the economy. So anyone wanted to do as an entrepreneur, as a higher studies, they should opt for this. These are biotechnology, nanotechnology, artificial, these are going to be there. And that's how, you must have heard that, okay, in a COVID scenario, yeah, you measure that oxygen nowadays, yeah. So oxygen in this is mostly it's the technology only getting, it's a minor chip which only sends the oxygen in the blood. That's it. But it is for the healthcare industry. Who created that? An engineer has created that with the help from the pharmacist. So that's how it is going to happen. Yeah. When your all robots will come to surgery, somewhere is already started. Yeah. So where this technology come? Doctors can only say that, okay, this is how he should do it, but that machine need to be done by the engineers. So that's how the thing is. So please start thinking in this way. If we go for Industry 4.0, this is one simulation has been done. So if we say the world numbers, and anywhere, if we only save the 1% by doing this, let's say the aviation sector, it's basically 30 billion will be the saving. Power 1% fuel saving, it's 66 billion. Healthcare 63 billion. Rail, if we only basically improve its efficiency by 1%, $27 billion. Oil and gas, yeah, 1% reduction in capital expenditure can cost 90 billion. So this is how the, if we say Industry 4.0 can support them. So these are the, we typically say is the exponential economy waves. So wave with connectivity, internet of everything, on demand, smart people. Yeah, wave 2, big data. We are typically into the wave 2 and going to wave 3, artificial intelligence, automation, smart business. Wave 3, robotics, 3D printing already came into picture. Biotech, nanotech, some European are there. Smart industry. Wave 4, it's a new energy. You will find a lot of in the coming years now. Smart homes, smart cities, government has already declared. Smart society. So these are the waves. So guys, this foundation already has been laid. People are already working on it. You can see how you can support it. But this is the way it is going to be. Yeah. So there are many business on the digital storage. You can say one will take over others, others will take over others. So you can see where this come. So when we did it in 2016, we thought that Amazon will start a bank. Correct. Nowadays, if you say our Amazon e-commerce, they started doing the banking services. Google can do the same thing. So Google Pay already come into the picture. So that's how it is going to happen. So if you say 63% of 2017 Fortune 500 companies already has gone. Why? It's only because they have not coped up with the requirement. 90% of business processes are online and audited in real time. You must have heard the IBM software at US. They are going to replace all the lawyers, yeah, because you do anything, yeah. So instead of lawyer, he will give you the, case, what to be done, all laws, all notification, everything will be there. So that is what the, future will like. We only need to adopt agile and how we can do it, that we need to think. So we need to have exponential thinking. Just few examples. Facebook, no content, you only post it. Uber, have no cars. Airbnb, no rooms. Alibaba keeps no stock. WhatsApp, no servers. Apple, no factories. Yeah? Netflix says wants no cinema. So typically you can say nowadays Ola also for ours. Yeah? Ola, then we have our successful entrepreneur from India, Oyo. So this is all, they are only technology based company if you say. So that's how it's most important to understand Industry 4.0, whether it's a core manufacturing, automobile, industrial information technology, biotechnology, or any other scenario. And most important, the way we are going on, we need to learn, we need to unlearn, and we need to relearn. That is the key for the future to success. Because whatever we see, it is changing at so pace that you need to learn the new things. But you only can relearn when you unlearn the stuff. Yeah. So you need to see your arm movement. Yeah. So that's it from my side. If anybody has any questions, so basically, please, I'm open for.
Okay, thank you, sir. One question is, can Industry 4.0 help reduce waste?
Absolutely, yeah. So Industry 4.0 always take a concept of lean management and operational excellence is already built. So as you go for the, as I seen you show you the 3 phases of the project, yeah. So phase 1 only take care that you have a minimum waste. So let's say in a traditional manufacturing you are getting 2%. So this will ensure how it can go to 0.1% because you have everything visibility there. So answer is yes, it will.
Okay, sir. And we can say that is Industry 4.0 is the fourth industrial revolution.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay. So sir, अभी तो मेरे पास दूसरे questions नहीं है. I did not receive any questions from viewers. So
Correct.
thank you, sir. It was very informative and interactive session, and I think many doubts of the students or viewers have been cleared. So, on the behalf of Parul University, we thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time. So, once again, thank you, sir.
Yeah, and thanks, Parth. And I am putting the link of the videos which on the chat I have just put it. So,
Okay.
in a nutshell, I just wanted to do so. My request to the students is please understand this industry 3.0, 4.0. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the next
Okay.
tool is going to be it is a technological combination. Yeah, so that's what only one side will not help. You also need to understand the future dynamics. So, but once you understand it's great, you can be absorbed, you can create a lot of invention, you can make a difference to the people of life. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye.